on which format you have to write questions. And for one question, one card will be used. This is the impression of item file card, right? So name of the participant or item writer, then area of specialization, you have to put a tick mark on language or literature from which that particular question is based upon. Your specialization may be in language, but you can write a question in literature. So based on the area from which that question is you are writing. So that way, this GFR code is, in other words, it is known as aspect number. So that our technical people will tell you to what is the aspect number, what do we mean by aspect number, and how there is a list inbox, Dropbox is there. We have to pick up an aspect on which your question is based. And in the last discussion, and even now that Shakuntala ji, just now she was talking with you, she has repeated that every question should be based on at least one content, then at least one dimension of a content, then at least one action verb should be used, and it should be able to test one learning outcome. That is known as the objective behind question. What is your objective to ask that question? Means what kind of learning outcome you want to test, from which subject, from which area it belongs to, and what is the dimension that your question is based on. So we will discuss this later. So this is when it is a face-to-face training session, where online things are not there, then we used to serve this item file card to our participants. And for one question, first they will practice on plain paper, keeping in view all this. You see, 10 parameters we say. One single question, one individual question should have 10 parameters. We have to mention that. And so in face-to-face programs, we circulate this piece of paper, and our participants used to write one question on one sheet. Here, the same thing is converted into something they say Google Sheet or whatever it is. And online you have to fill, but the components, these parameters will remain the same. So only this is hard copy I am showing. There you will see the page, and electronically you have to fill. You see what are the 10 parameters according to us, according to National Testing Service. There may be many more, 20 parameters. Others can search. But what so far we have searched, that one question should have at least 10 parameters, excluding the name of the item writer, area, and all that. You see, administering detail. Here you don't have to write anything. If you start online filling the question tomorrow, administrating detail, it is meant for the person who is administering the test. And item writing, if you feel that to administer the question you are writing, some kind of special arrangement, like any gadget, any computer, any microphone. Suppose it is a dictation question. Dictation is a question, no. So if you want to give dictation to a group of students where teacher has to speak, student has to listen and write, then you may suggest that public address system is needed. So this part number one is, parameter number one is related with if some special arrangement is needed, this is related with the administrator of the test. So here usually in paper pencil mode, we don't need any other equipment and all that. Our piece of paper is enough. So you can leave this, what is that? Field. Then instruction to examinee. And number 3 is question item stem with answer key or cue. This is what the main place where you have to write the question. Suppose if it is an objective type question, you will write the instruction. What is the usual instruction is answer the following question by putting a tick mark on the right answer. This is what they say instruction to the examiner. If it is a subjective type question, you can ask, explain life and deed of some poet or writer in maybe 300 words. Achievements of some writer, poet. You describe some point in suppose 200 words, 50 words, whatsoever it is. In objective type questions, there is a fixed kind of instruction that answer the below question by putting a tick mark or maybe blackening the circle. For subjective type question, there may be different instructions for different piece of questions. So whatsoever it is, here in point number 2, question writer has to write how he or she wants the answer to be given by the student. Here you can write in your own words, right? This is a very famous wording of subjective type questions when we were students. Write in your own word. So shed the light, explain, describe, whatsoever it is. And here what action verb, what I was telling is, action verb should be used here itself. I will give you, this is the blank form, fill up form is also there. Then the same way, and full question should be there with, if it is an objective type, then you have to give the key, right answer key like A, B, C, D. If it is subjective type, you have to give the cues with certain salient points of the answer on which you need that answer should be based. Madam, while describing just before subjective type, she might have told. Or if it is a small objective type question, like simple question, 1 or 2 words answer is needed. What is your name? Vijay Kumar. Then you can give the full answer also. Anyway, objective or subjective, any type of question you have to write here. Then a scoring procedure, number 5. Here 3 types of scoring procedures are available so far. Enumerative is fixed for objective type. Enumerative means counting type. 2 marks, 5 questions are there, 3 questions are correct, 6 marks will be given. This is enumeration, no, right? So if it is an objective type question, only option you have to suggest for enumerative marking procedure. But if it is subjective type, there are 2 options with you. Analytical marking you can suggest, scoring, or global quality scoring you can suggest. It is up to you. Although there is a great difference between global quality and analytical, but there is no time to discuss. So in brief, just I will say that if it is objective type, you have no other option than enumerative scoring procedure. So you are bound to suggest this. If it is a subjective type, it is up to you. Here I will say that if it is a short answer, simple question, right? This fill up the blanks. It is in subjective category as per our viewpoint. So for that you can give the global quality option. And if it is a essay type question, you can suggest for analytical. So now it is up to you. As a subject matter. So here just for example, I have given Indian literature, devotional songs. Here you can write grammar. Grammar, if it is part from morphology or syntax or what is that, phonology. So these minute detail of the topic on which the question is based. Top general detail of the topic here you have to mention. Language literature we have mentioned here. Again within language literature, broader categories are mentioned here. And within broader categories, minute categories on which exactly that question is based, that is mentioned to be mentioned here. Objective behind questioning is You have to write that through by asking this question, what kind of skill you expect to be tested. Knowledge is tested, understanding is tested, application ability is tested, analytical skills are tested, synthetical skills are tested, evaluation skills are tested. So it is up to you. But you have to keep in mind that it should be in accordance with the level of content you are putting, type of item you are selecting, right? Accordingly, your objective should be of lower level skills and higher level skills. You cannot ride on a pony and claim that you are going to fight with Alexander, right? You have to ride a horse. So you have, if your objective is of higher skills, you have to select a higher applicability question also. So these are the minor things to be taken into account, but for practice, it doesn't matter, you can write. And I said yesterday, most of the questions are knowledge-based questions, application-based questions, how to write a comprehension-based question, that we have tried to give some tips. So accordingly, you can write here. By using this question, knowledge about, suppose, Malayalam epics has been tested. Knowledge, understanding about Malayalam poetic tradition, grammatical tradition has been tested. Understanding about verbs has been tested. So that way you can write. Item format used, it is simple. You have to put a tick mark if it is a constant alternative or multiple choice. What kind of item type you have, format you have used here, that you have to mention here. Then medium of mode, obviously it is a written question, so you have to write written. Level you have to fix. If you are from school education, either primary, upper primary, secondary, higher secondary, you have to say write the level. Here you have to give a, what is that, undertaking, that by using this item format, this particular skill is tested on this particular level. I don't know someone has explained or not. There are only two levels on which a question item functions: identification level and production level. About identification, we have discussed elaborately what identification is. Putting the finger is identification. So only there are two levels on which a particular question item functions. Again, there is a categorization that all the objective type question items of any subcategory, whether it is a constant alternative or multiple choice or multiple facet or rearrangement or matching, all kinds of objective type questions function on identification level. So if it is an objective type question, you have to write that through this question. Knowledge about Malayalam epic, what you have stated in point number 6, is tested on identification level. This is a claim only. While verifying your question, validating your question, that validator will try to examine that whether your claim is right or wrong. But that is their problem. Here simply you have to write that by using this item, question item, knowledge about, understanding about, application ability of a student about the content what you have mentioned here is tested on, if it is an objective type question, you should write that on identification level. If it is a subjective type question, you have to write that on production level. Okay? Now, filled up form I will show you. I have tried my best to write one question from language and one from literature. And it will be, you can relate yourself with this question. You see, this is what? Name of the participants in item writer Viresh Kumar, because I have written, so I have given my name. Area of specialization, language. Now this is the GFR code 212050 that belongs to category of authors and contributions. This we will show in that page, electronic data, electronic inputting system page. Just now, after I finish, they will come and show. I will be also here. So this is GFR number. Other word, we say it aspect number, aspect number. So this question belongs to, first it belongs to language, and this belongs to, no, this is wrongly, this has been wrongly. This is for literature, fit for literature. Okay, you ignore this. Now you come to the here. I said that administrative detail, nothing is needed. Answer the below question. How many letters are there in Malayalam Aksharmala? Now you know better. In English there are 26 letters. So here the answer will be 26. 26 letters. So this is the fill up the blank question, right? Fill up the blank question. Here our data entry inputter has mistakenly written this short question. It is a fill up completion type. Fill up the blanks. You please ignore. In a hurry we have prepared for you people especially. So in nutshell, it is a language question. Aspect number, it is wrongly filled, but some or other aspect it is based upon, that is sure. Now, and obviously it is a phonology question. How many letters are there in Malayalam Aksharmala? Then there are this much letters in Malayalam Aksharmala. It is actually a simple question. They say that simple questions should be of, answer should be of one word or maximum one line. So if think this way, this is correct. This is a simple question, no doubt. So here he has written, there are, because we don't know how many letters are there in the Malayalam Aksharmala. The same answer can be given a different way also. That a student can only write, suppose English, how many letters are there? 24 letters. That answer is also correct. You have to give full marks. So if it is a complete sentence, full answer, that it is known as answer. Only indication is there, that is known as Q. Right? Now, here also she has done a mistake. It is now it is a subjective type question. It is subjective type question. We have two options for a scoring procedure. This is wrongly given, narrative is written wrongly. You have two options: analytical marking and global marking. I will suggest that just now I have told you that it is a short question, so you can suggest for global quality marking. Global quality is, you have been practicing global quality. You see the answer, form an opinion, give the marks. That is global quality. Analytical quality, you have to analyze the question, whether introduction is correct or not, body is correct, they have given a conclusion or not, handwriting is what is good or bad, how many mistakes are there. If these things are taken care, where scoring the answer, that is known as analysis is done. No, so that is analytical. So for answer of essay type questions, analytical procedure is good. Here it is a short answer question, maximum one line answer, so global quality marking will be appropriate. This is also wrong, authors and contribution. She has just copied the literature part with language. Yes, objective is correct. To test the students' knowledge about Malayalam letters, right? Or Aksharmala. So this is objective behind questioning. So same way we have to write. This structure will be same. That to test a student's knowledge, you can replace with understanding, it can replace with application ability, you can replace with analytical skills, whatsoever your objective may be. This also will be, content part will change if it is letters or words or sentence structure. But the way of writing the objective will be same, to test a student's a particular skill about some content, right? Item type they have rightly mentioned. It is a medium or mode of presentation. Obviously, it is a written question. Level C has selected correctly, higher secondary. You can go for secondary also. Now, point number 10. Knowledge of a student about Malayalam Aksharmala is tested on production level, right? Because it is a subjective type question. Now, in next question is objective type literature question. You see, a specialization literature, item writer same V.S. Kumar, administrative detail nothing. Answer the below questions by, and author and contribution was for literature. She has only placed there in the language part. Here that authors and contributions, this question comes under the aspect of authors and contributions. Now I have given some, answer the following below question by putting a tick mark on the right option. Following lines of a devotional song were composed by which poet? आज आए श्याम मोहन रास मंडल खेलने, बांसुरी की धुन भी लागे, तन न तुम न तुम, बाजे ताल मृदंग की धुन, त्रिगट तत त्रिकट तुम, पद्मनाभ तुम्हारी लीला, क्या कहूं मैं सावरो, पाप संकट हरन आयो, सो हमारो तुम हरो. You tell me, who is the writer of the song? Andal, Swati Tirunal, Mirabai, Surdas. Any participant, please?
Surdas.
Right. You tell or boliye. Someone was telling Surdas. Someone was telling Swati Tirunal.
Swati Tirunal, sir.
Swati Tirunal, sir.
Yes, B is the correct answer. So T is given B. Now you see the scoring procedure. This piece is flawless. A scoring procedure, I have already mentioned that if it is an objective type question, any subtype, any content, any problem it is dealt in, only one in a scoring procedure we have, that is enumerative. If it is a 2 marks question, if answer is B, then we have to give 2 marks, right? Now subject matter, Indian literature, devotional songs, objective. To test a student's knowledge about devotional poetry of what you will write, Malayalam or Hindi? India. To test, you see a Malayalam writer, poet is writing in Braj Bhasha, 2,500 kilometers geographical distance is there from Agra and Mathura and Vrindavan to maybe more than that. If you see Trivandrum, it will be more than 3,000. So you can write to test the students' knowledge about devotional poetry of India, neither Malayalam nor Braj Bhasha. So this is what India is. Now item type format, it is multiple choice because more than one options are there, A, B, C, D. So write multiple choice. It is mode is written, higher secondary level. Now, rational is very simple. Students' knowledge about devotional poetry of India, you can write, is tested on identification level. Because all the objective type question function on identification level only. Whereas in grammar question, if it is a simple question, so she has given, I have given and she has rightly typed that it is on production level. What is identification, what is production is, just I will conclude. Why it is known as, why they say that all the subjective type questions function on identification level is, here answer is already given with the question itself. Hidden in the distractors. Here you see, answer is already here. But it is hidden. Hidden means whoever knows, only he or she can give the. So, and she or he don't need to give the answer, simply putting the finger, no? If it is on online board, they will have a click on B, answer will be given. So that's why they say that in every objective type question, answering procedure is like that. The students don't have to write anything. Simply they have to put a tick mark or black in the circle. Nothing they have to write. That's why they say that every objective type question function on identification level, wherein subjective type answer is to be produced by the student side. Here you see, only question is there, how many letters are there in Malayalam alphabet, right? There is no answer. So student has, whether it's one word or one sentence, 300 words, 3000 words maybe, because answer of subjective type question is to be produced by the student side. That's why they say that all the subjective type questions, irrespective of its subtypes, simple, what is that? Long answer, short answer, all of subjective type questions function on production level. So here in rational, item writer has to make a claim, give an assurance, undertaking that knowledge of a student about Malayalam Aksharmala is tested on production level. So this is the way of writing questions. Same thing is converted into what format? Soft format, that electronic page. And for that, my friends will come and discuss. I have to discuss about dimensional problems also, but I will abandon that plan because time is not there. And while working, those your queries will be satisfied tomorrow. I will also come do it. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. This dimension problem. Really careful if you want. It is for literature language.
Okay. Now you see, they are asking to explain it in a brief.
Yeah.
You see, I will give.
Yeah. This for.
I will give you the idea. While inputting the question, you will have to select first language in literature. If you go for language, it is up to you, and you have to try to make a balance. If you write 10 questions from literature side, you have to write 10 questions from language side, grammar side also, because you have been teaching both. So then if it is a language side, you have to, they will ask, machine will ask for form or a structure or meaning or usage. It means what question you are going to ask. First, the questions are framed in the mind of the item writer. Right? You have to perceive the question. Then you have to see that to which category, which dimension this question belongs to. The basic idea is that every linguistic unit, whether it is a sound or a word or a sentence, it must have 4 dimensions. Like it should have a form, it will have a structure, it should convey a meaning, and it will have its uses. Use is the alternate, because use will be only if it is meaning. If it is meaningless, it is of no use for us, right? So every linguistic, even punctuation marks also have some meanings, at least they influence meaning. So keeping in view this philosophical aspect of linguistic units, we have identified these dimensions: form, structure, meaning, usage. You can see that you have to see that your question belongs to which dimension. You see, long and short. Long words, short words. In Hindi, we have borrowed from Sanskrit. Satchidanand is the longest word. So Satchidanand is the longest word. It is its form, long or short. Long vowel, short vowel. If you go for phonological level, long vowel, short vowel. These things belong to the form of a linguistic unit. Big sentence, short sentence, lengthy sentence. And a structure is the internal element of that linguistic unit. You see, all sandhi, Sandhi is a dimension of a word. Many words are Sandhi words. Just now I have cited Satchidanand, your greatest poet Satchidanand. Satchidanand is a Sandhi word. So Sat, Chit and Anand, three words are clubbed together, then the Satchidanand word was produced. So it is the longest word available in Hindi at least. Now longest and shortest, these belong to the form of the word. And it is a Sandhi word, so it belongs to the structure part or dimension. So now it is up to you. For example, you take Satchidanand, if you are asking that it is the longest word, you are agree or disagree. Suppose this kind of question is there, then you are focusing on the form of the same word. If you are asking that in which Sandhi it falls, Satchidanand, it is a Vyanjan Sandhi, right? If these aspects you want to highlight or ask through your question, then the same Satchidanand word will be the same, but dimension will be changed. Here it belongs to the structure, right? So if your motive is to know the under which Sandhi or example of which Sandhi Satchidanand word can be used, then dimension you have to click on a structure, because you want to know that whether a student knows the structure of your word, what you are asking. Take same Satchidanand. If you are asking for meaning, Sat means eternal, Chit means mind, Anand means bliss. It is for God. Simple meaning, complex meaning. So if your same, by using same Satchidanand word, if your focus is on meaning, then your question obviously belongs to the meaning dimension. You have to click upon meaning. And if you want to know that in which way Satchidanand word is used, it is used to name our kids. Nowadays, postcard, lifafa, telegram, all kind of names they will put. But earlier, these kind of names were there. So if you want to know this type of information related to the same Satchidanand word, then it belongs to the uses or function dimension, and the focus, your focus is shifted. So by giving this sudden example, I have tried to explain that any linguistic unit will have minimum 4 dimensions. It will have a form, it will have a structure, it will have certain meaning, and it will have some uses. You take it to for the word level, I have said, you take it to sentence level, simple, complex, compound. These sentence varieties are based on the structure, right? Simple, complex, compound, long sentence, short sentence. This belongs to the, what is that? Form of the sentence. And meaning, a sentence should certainly express, convey some meaning, and what are the uses. Interrogative sentence is used for what purpose, imperative sentence is used for what purpose. So just I will give you an idea, time, I'm running out of time. This is what we call as dimensions. You have to conceive your question in your mind. Of the same topic, there may be, if it is a language question, these may be four dimensions may be there. It is up to you to focus your question on any of the dimensions. You have to just mention that this question is based on this dimension.